soul. All right. Hey everybody, how's everyone doing today? It's a little bit crazy day today, especially with the hard fork being canceled here. We're gonna go through the markets here. It's gonna be an interesting ride. Altcoin markets are kind of soaring right now. If you go to cryptosonic.com, you can see that almost everything is, green today, other than, and Bitcoin's plummeting a little bit, and Bitcoin Cash is, well, Bitcoin Cash. So nothing much to say there, but yeah, let me open you guys up. Go ahead and write in the live chat, guys. I do read the live chat, so if you have any questions, let me know. Yep. You guys can hear me all right? Perfect. All right, so let's just go through this real quick. Okay, so CoinDesk is reporting, Bitcoin.com is reporting, and so let's just read through this real quick. So for all intents and purposes, altcoins, SEGWIT2X is canceled. So SEGWIT2X is completely canceled for all intents and purposes. SEGWIT2X is canceled, and we'll read through the statement right now. Excuse me. The SEGWIT2X effort began in May with simple purpose: to increase the block size and improve Bitcoin scalability. At the time, the Bitcoin community was in crisis after nearly 3 years of heavy debate, and consensus for SEGWIT seemed like a distant mirage with only 30% support among miners. SEGWIT2X found its success in August as it broke the deadlock and quickly led to SEGWIT's successful activation. Since that time, the team shifted its efforts to phase 2 of their project, a 2 megabyte block size increase. So in the New York convention, where the consensus was reached for essentially 2 megabyte block size, it was supposed to be this was a planned hard fork. Everyone knew this was coming since May, June. So this was a consensus. This was agreed upon in the future, but obviously it wasn't implemented correctly. Our goal has always been a smooth upgrade for Bitcoin. Although we strongly believe in the need for a larger block size, there is something we believe that is even more important: keeping the community together. Now, if you go through my last videos, that's what I was saying. I don't care who wins. We just did the community together, because Bitcoin is so much stronger after this hard fork, or even after this whole hard fork conundrum that we didn't really have a hard fork, but Bitcoin is just so much stronger already. Since that time, sorry, where was I? Unfortunately, it is clear that we have not built enough sufficient consensus for a clean block size upgrade at this time. Continuing on the path could divide the community and be a setback to Bitcoin's growth. This was never the goal of SEGWIT2X. Really? And let's just read through here. Mike Belshi, Wences Cesaris, Jihan Wu, Jeff Garswick, Peter Smith, Eric Voorhees. Really? Really? It wasn't your goal? I mean, you guys could have just implemented, they could have implemented, replay protection. And I don't understand why it wasn't implemented in the first place. Complete oversight. But we'll see. We'll see. And, Jihan Wu was the pretty much spearhead for Bitcoin Cash. So splitting the community, I don't think was held in high regard there. So, SegWit's working fine. There was no problem in SegWit. So I really don't understand this entire conundrum in the first place. But, it is what it is. SEGWIT2X is canceled. That's all you need to know for now. Right now, Bitcoin.com is reporting it, and so is CoinDesk. And I'm sure everyone's going to be picking up this news story. Probably the biggest news story, probably of the week. We don't know what's going to happen. Maybe some more FUD coming out, but this is massive news, guys. Massive, massive, massive news. Impossible to log into Kraken. A lot of people are having a lot of trouble everywhere. Trying to short Bitcoin, because Bitcoin, there's no reason to be in Bitcoin right now. There's no free money. There's no SEGWIT2X hard fork coming. You're not going to get 2 coins anymore. For all intents and purposes, SEGWIT2X is canceled. So therefore, you will not get another coin. Right. So let's look through the markets real quick and see what's going on. What's going on? Let's see what the price is along the exchanges here. So yeah, we're dipping a little bit, but not to something too severe. Bittrex was 6,800. It kept flopping around. Let's hit refresh one more time. Let's see if that is cashed correctly. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's too big of an impact, but I do expect a small little correction for Bitcoin. Let's just go through Coinbase real quick and see what the last hour or 2 hours has really brought, or GDAX rather. What is the last hour or 2 hours brought to Bitcoin? Like, let's see the financial charts here. So obviously daily we don't really care about daily, and we don't care about Bitstamp. We care about GDAX because we are trying to go through GDAX. Okay, let's see this. We're gonna hide that. So this is something we drew weeks ago. We're going to go on the 5-minute indicator. Excuse me. So so we had seen a huge surge in price here. Massive surge in price. Almost to 7,800 here. And then the news was announced. This is a 5-minute interval. So the news was announced. Let's see the exact time the news was announced. So that is 1658 UTC. Okay. I don't know what that is, how long that is ago. UTC to PST, because we're in California here, so we're going to look at that. Central Universal Time is 8 hours ahead of Pacific Time. Okay, so let's go back here. And what did it say? So we'll say, 1,700 hours. So around, that doesn't make any sense. Anyways, yeah, that's what this is what happened. SEGWIT2X was released, or SEGWIT2X was canceled rather, and we saw a massive decrease in price here. And I don't know what the bottom is. No one really knows what the bottom is, but let's map it out. Let's project where the bottom is going to be. So we have this massive red bearish engulfing candle here, and let's see. Yeah, massive bearish engulfing candle here, with massive sell volume going on right now, and you know, ultimately, I think the price will stabilize. I don't think the 7,200 or $7,500 mark was sustainable in the long term, but in the short term, you know, it needed to correct. So we had drawn a channel since March, and we've completely exploded that yellow channel here. Let's zoom in here. That yellow channel here going back since March here, and we've completely exploded past it. And we've gone doing this uptrend. This red line here signifies the SEGWIT2X hard fork, which is no longer happening. But it's important to you know, put this in the image, because you know, this was exactly what everyone thought was going to happen. We were going to see a massive price increase to going towards the SEGWIT2X hard fork date. And since this is no longer happening, we are going to see, you know, major corrections here. And let's zoom right back into that 5-minute mark, because it's very recent news, guys. Very recent news. So we did see a massive price decrease, and well, we'll even map out the price decrease, see what the price range was there. So we'll price that out. So, as of right now, let's hide this volume. We have dropped 8.5%. We have dropped 8.5% within an hour. We've dropped 8.5%. Will we continue to drop? I don't think we'll drop too far low. I think that 7,000 psychological mark is pretty big, but let's go check it out. Let's go check out the order books to see what's going on with the order books. Are there orders being placed? Is there massive sell walls? You know, let's just check those out before we make any judgment calls here, and before there's, you know, a pandemic of Bitcoin sellers. So let's go check this out. So actually, we aren't doing too bad. There's not two big sell walls compared to the buy walls here. You know, there is a significant little buy wall right at this 72.47 mark. So around $30 below that, and we're already at a buy wall here at 15 Bitcoin, which is, you know, a lot. That's a lot of money. That's over $100,000. You know, that's being slowly whittled down, but I think there's significant support behind Bitcoin still to this day. So I really don't think it's going to be too bad. But right now Bitcoin is falling, and you know, I don't think we need to alarm. I mean, I've already exited my position. As soon as I heard about this, I went under GDAX and I exited a little bit of my position at around 73, 7,400. But that's not too big of my position. You know, I was in 70 to 80% Bitcoin because I wanted that free money. Like, you know, I don't want to, you know, lie to you guys, but yeah, that's essentially free money. A hard fork was essentially free money. And we saw B2X futures on HitBTC trading for around $1,500. So that was a really good indicator for me to say, hey, I want to allocate my portfolio, or a big percentage of my portfolio, into Bitcoin. Now that that no longer exists, we'll see this continual free fall of Bitcoin until the bears are no longer in control. But as of right now, massive sell signals. Let's go back to the hourly. And just show you guys. So there's massive sell signals on the wave trend, and the MACD. Now, I have never seen this before. That is one of the sharpest drops I've ever seen. You know, even in the hourly, that's a very sharp drop. So let's look at a 4%, and I think this could be easily compared to. Yeah, this could easily be compared to the China FUD drop. Well, not as severe as the China FUD drop, but those beginning hours of the China FUD drop. If you were live or looking at the charts while China announced that it was going to ban exchanges, you would have seen a similar significant price decrease. But I think this is not a bad thing for Bitcoin. I think at the end of the day, the community and all this tension and turmoil, it really solidifies the Bitcoin community and says, hey, we're stronger than ever now. I think Bitcoin is stronger than ever now. It's going to see some price decreases. It's going to see that correction, but that's healthy for the market. That's completely healthy. We've been traveling along this channel, and this channel is doing pretty well here. And all of a sudden, we exploded out of that channel on October 28th. That was a little bit after the Bitcoin Gold hard fork, which was around the 24th, October 24th. And now this is what's exactly happening. That we're going to see this little small price decrease, and we're going to rally right back. That's just the nature of Bitcoin. And let's go through the altcoins. And if you guys, I do read the live chat, so if you guys have any questions, let me know. And we will check out, what coins you guys want to look at. So moon time. Okay, well, it is moon time for the altcoins. I don't think it's moon time for Bitcoin right now, but it's holding strong. It's holding really strong. Surprisingly strong. And I would be surprised to see it go down below 7,000. That psychological 7,000 mark, there's massive buy pressure. As soon as I see 6,800, 6,900, and you're looking at these charts and you're looking just at the price orders here, you'll have these investors pour in because like, oh my God, like it's under 7,000. I haven't seen this in days. Let's buy in here. And that's a little bit of a bullish bearish reversal, and it's important to keep a strong mentality here. If you're in Bitcoin, you could wait for it to stabilize, or you could hold to the long term. Or if you're a day trader like me, you could quickly switch into the altcoins, but you have to stay vigilant. It is very, very dangerous, especially now, to be trading in and out of altcoins. And and that's the kind of mentality that you have to put yourself into, that you want to have a structured approach when you're trading. And and we'll go through this exactly through. Let's look at Ethereum first. I think Ethereum is obviously the number 2 contender here. So let's go Ethereum USD, and I'm sure we'll see a massive price increase here. So let's go through the 5-minute mark. Yeah, we saw quote unquote a moon. Okay, and we saw the price quickly stabilize. So let's just look through here, and I'll show you guys why it's nothing really to worry about right now. Okay, so right now the United States is awake. Okay, we are the awake time zone. Traders and investors are awake right now. I'm sure there's stop losses that are being set in the European, China, Korea. Oh no, no longer China, Korea, Japan. Even though China still does trade, just it's a little bit under the radar. So Europe, China, Asia, not their prime trading times. And so right now what we're seeing is big corrections in the American markets or in the United States markets right now, and not too much on everything else. So Bitfinex, 7,300. We won't count Bitfinex because that's multinational. GDAX is a little bit multinational too. But we'll see the Korean levels at BitHump. Bitcoin has always been a little bit higher in the Korean markets, maybe because the low supply, but it's always been a little bit higher, especially Ethereum has especially been higher in the Korean markets, but we haven't seen that price decrease. We're still sitting at around 74.50 in the Korean markets here. And Japan, 73.64, not too big of a price decrease, like not at all. We're sitting around 72, 73 right now. So a lot of the markets have to catch up, but I really don't think it's going to decrease too much. But I definitely think there will be a nice little shift back into the altcoin markets. Now that the FUD is gone, now that there's no longer free money at the table, people will start going back to these stronger altcoins. And so let's go back into Ethereum. Now we're in the 5-minute price chart, which it's difficult if you're a swing trader. You want to go into the 5, 10, 15-minute charts, but I generally try to stay to the hourly to 4-hour, and then daily for my long-term views. And so let's just look at the Ethereum price chart right now. So we're seeing a massive boom and a little bit of a stabilization. And since this is only Coinbase and it is primarily a Western market, Florida Coinbase, we're not going to see that immediate price differential in the other markets. So right now we are seeing that price stabilization around 308. So anyone who's holding Ethereum, I'm holding Ethereum, and so everyone, congrats on holding onto your Ethereum. It's a nice little price increase. I think 4% increase, 5% increase here to that 308 level, and this is surprising because the Parity wallet, there's a exploit found in the Parity wallets, and it's locked up on millions of dollars, and there's people trying to repair it. And if we go to Twitter right now, so let's go to Twitter, Vitalik Buterin. Okay. With replies. Okay. Let's look at Vitalik Buterin's tweet this morning, or early morning. I am deliberately refraining from comment on wallet issues except to express strong support for those working hard on writing simpler, safer wallet contracts or auditing the formally verifying security of existing ones. So, you know, this is a little bit of a FUD. You know, this is uncertainty of Ethereum's scalability or Ethereum's, you know, security. Millions of dollars was locked up. And I think it's a little ridiculous that you know, Ethereum didn't see that massive price decrease that, or you know, even a small little correction that, you know, that it's staying so strong. And let's look at the hourly or 2 hours and see, you know, we saw a little bit of a price decrease, actually a lot of pricing decrease from around that $303 mark to that 291. So that was a pretty big decrease, and you know, we saw an immediate rally right back up to those levels. So I think cryptocurrencies as a whole is in a really good place right now. Is in a really good place. Bitcoin will see some fluctuations, and let's go through your comments here on the live chat and see what you guys are up to. Could be worse. BTC. This is the lowest. The news at. This is the lowest as the news is at its worst. So the news is not at its worst. So when the Koreans and the Chinese wake up, and sorry, not the Koreans, not the Chinese, Koreans, Japanese, and Europeans wake up, they control a significant portion of the Bitcoin market. So we'll really see what impact this really has. But in my opinion, this is amazing for Bitcoin. You know, we will see that price decrease because, you know, altcoins will get a flood back because there's no real reason to hold because, unless you're obviously a Bitcoin maximalist, there's no real reason to hold because you won't have any more free money. So we'll really see that later on in the day once, you know, the Asian markets and the European markets really start to kick back and see what's exactly happening. But it's you know, we're gonna call it by we're not gonna call it right now saying, hey, this is what's going to happen. But it is a little iffy right now. But it's important to stay vigilant throughout the day today and make sure you set your stop losses if you are hedging against Bitcoin. I've already set my stop losses, and you know, whether it hits or not, I don't know, but I'm going to stay vigilant, making sure that, you know, I have alerts going on throughout the day saying if these prices hit, you know, I'm aware of these prices on my particular exchange that because obviously it only matters what exchange you're on, right? So let's actually yeah, let's go check. Let's zoom out of Ethereum here and see this light blue. Let's look at this 1 day. Okay, so we drew this light blue line here, and it is pretty much holding support since July 15th of this year. So this is a strong indicator of support for Ethereum, and we're right at it. Now, this is how pivotal of a time this is probably for Ethereum, that we've hit the 66-day average, and we're hitting support. So whether Bitcoin's going to break up or break down is you know, I mean, sorry, not Bitcoin. If Ethereum's going to break down or break up, you know, now's the time to do it. And with this Bitcoin news, even though I think this Bitcoin news overshadows the security issues or security concerns of the parity wallets in Ethereum. So, you know, Ethereum might not be a bad idea to get into. And I mean, it is a little inflated right now due to that little price increase. You know, we did see a 5% increase within a couple of minutes. So I'm not going to get in right now, but I'm holding on to my Ethereum. There's no reason for me to sell. I was actually thinking about selling my Ethereum because of these security issues. And, you know, FUD is always terrible, but you know, it's important to trade off FUD. If you're not trading off fundamentals and technicals, you're not doing it right. You know, if you're only looking at the chart, there's no way you'll know what's going on, what recent developments are going on in the market. You know, and a lot of people are like, hey, like I came from the stock market, I came from Forex. You know, all I do is look at the charts and, you know, and I trade off that. Well, that's not a good idea. That's just not a good idea. It's important to include your fundamentals and include the news, releases, roadmap objectives, PR, conferences. You have to take all of that in consideration when you're trading. And and we really try to do that on this channel, where we're following Twitters, we're following Reddits, we're following Bitcoin Talk thread forums, we're following these specific conferences, and we're trading based off that. And right now, in my opinion, I don't think Ethereum, it's a good time to short Ethereum, and it's not a good time to short Bitcoin. I'm going to wait for this to stabilize, or Bitcoin, I'm going to set my stop losses, so we'll see if it's going to be a good time to short it or not. So let's go through you guys' comments and see what you guys have to say. All right. I am glad SEGWIT2X did not go through. The Bitcoin developers need to focus on improving Bitcoin Core than more any new hard forks. So this is the conversation that you guys, I don't understand. I think a lot of the community is misinformed about this, is that hard forks are necessary. Legitimate hard forks are necessary. You do need to upgrade the code from time to time. You don't, if we had archaic Bitcoin, we would be at, $80 to $100 fees right now. $80 to $100 fees. So, I don't think Bitcoin had that scalability, and I think SegWit and larger blocks are the way to go, or are the way to go to tackle this scalability issue. Now, without hard forks, that's not possible. You can't have bigger blocks without a hard fork. You can't have the activation of SegWit without a hard fork. You cannot have Lightning Network implemented without a hard fork. You cannot have atomic swap. You can have atomic swaps, but it's significantly harder to do without a hard fork. So hard forks are necessary in the natural progression of Bitcoin, but it is you have to make sure whether the developers or core developers or whoever is implementing the hard fork is doing their due diligence. Like Bitcoin Gold, maybe not the best idea. Bitcoin Cash, okay. Bigger blocks. It went through the pipeline. It did well. But Vertcoin is there, and we'll see the different price fluctuations in the markets right now. So let's go back to CryptoSimonic.com, and we'll give this a little refresh here. And in the meantime, we'll continue to look at these price walls. So we're seeing significant sell pressure building up around 113 Bitcoin. That's very, very huge. So let's go look at this. So it's at around 7,300 times 113. That's an $800,000 wall. It's an $800,000 wall. I think that's pretty ridiculous, and the sell pressure is there. Will we see that drop? Will we see the bulls come back in saying, hey, this price doesn't deserve that? And we're seeing on the other side at 150 Bitcoin wall, which is pretty massive. And so is this what's going to happen? We don't know yet, especially as the Asian markets wake up. We'll find out. So let's go back here and see what's going on. So NEO seeing a 20% increase for over the 24 hours. That's very impressive. IOTA seeing 24%. Not too surprising. Amise Go, one of the things I'm most bullish on. I've been advocating buying a little bit of Amise Go every single day, and that's what I've been doing. Up 25%. Insane gains here, guys. Lisk 24% up. So I think there was a little bit of Lisk news going on. BitConnect up 3.94%. BitConnect up 3.94%. I don't know what's going on with BitConnect. We won't talk about it on this channel. But yeah, it's big BitConnect. Yeah, all right. So yeah, if you guys haven't seen that meme, go check out that meme. It is I can't stop watching it, but it's pretty hilarious. 26% up for Vertcoin. So let's go back to Vertcoin, guys. I think Vertcoin's at a critical junction of its development here, or of its price change here. So let's go back to Vertcoin. So since Bitcoin is a little bit iffy right now, we have opted to go into the USD price pairing. So yeah, we won't be looking at ETH Connect or BitConnect, guys. You know, it's a Ponzi by nature, so just be careful here, guys. All right. So I don't know where this note is from, but okay. Let's look at this. This is a 5-minute indicator. That's why. All right. Let's look at the 2-hour here. Okay. So we have finally broke down, broke up or broken out rather, on this Vertcoin descending triangle here. We were seeing significant sell resistance here going down, you know, for at least a week or so going down. And we didn't know if we were going to break through this or not, but we've hit as soon as we hit that 66-day average candle, or 66 candle average on the 2-hour interval, we saw massive price increases here for Vertcoin. Like, this is very, very impressive. The MACD no longer slow, explosive growth here in the last day or two, or in the last 6 hours rather. Explosive growth. We've finally broken out. So a lot of those, so what does a breakout mean? That means a lot of those sell resistance, a lot of those sell orders have already been fulfilled. Therefore, there's no longer resistance in order for it to go to the moon. So we'll check out the Vertcoin price charts here. Let's check this out. Okay, so we're still seeing resistance as you know, we're breaking through these previous all-time highs here. So we keep just chugging along, and I think we're essentially going to break through a lot of these walls. Why is Vertcoin increasing so hard? The halvening of Vertcoin. So what is a halvening? A halvening is a deflationary method. Bitcoin had a halvening. Litecoin has a halvening. It's a decrease in the block reward. So right now, Bitcoin's at 12.5 Bitcoins awarded per block solved. A block is solved every 10 minutes. Obviously, miners all around the world, mining pools, they share the block reward experience, or the block reward profits, rather. And Vertcoin's at 50 Vertcoins per block solved, and they're decreasing to 25. In 2020, Bitcoin will be decreasing from 12.5 to 6.25 blocks Bitcoin awarded per block. So, and Vertcoins is happening in December, or early December, around December 11th, December 12th. We'll see Vertcoins halvening take place. And usually with halvenings, you'll see massive price increases, because that does, since it's harder to get, it's harder to mine, it's harder to solve each block, it's harder to, you know, get rewarded per each block, or, you know, it's not as efficient to award each block. It increases demand and it reduces supply. Therefore, the price increases, you know, a ton, a lot of money. And I really think BTC Gold, or Bitcoin Gold, you know, is a little bit outdated compared to the development and community behind Vertcoin, which is essentially doing the same thing. Vertcoin is using a Lyra 2RE hashing algorithm, while Bitcoin Gold is using something similar, that you can still mine on GPUs, you can still mine on your graphical processing units, but it hasn't been tested enough, right? So Vertcoin already has a community out there, already has an established roadmap ahead of them, halvenings coming up. You know, there wasn't really a need for the Bitcoin Gold hard fork, other than, you know, people forking to fork, you know, or wanting to fork, and they have a different vision. There's nothing wrong with having a hard fork if you have a different vision, you know, but don't expect to garner support. Don't expect to garner Bitcoin supporters' support just because you've forked off of Bitcoin. You know, Litecoin was a fork off of Bitcoin. Vertcoin was a fork off of Bitcoin. So it's essential that these hard forks need to exist. They do need to exist, but, you know, I don't think it warrants support from the rest of the community. So let's go check this out, guys. Let's see some more of your comments here. From current Satoshis, do you think Vertcoin will cross all-time highs? So we're at Vertcoin, we're at VTC USD pairing. So if you want to look at the BTC, we'll check out the BTC. Okay. right now we're a long shot away from crossing those all-time highs. Those all-time highs are, you know, a long way away, in my opinion here. We are having a significant breakout. Let's look at a 30-minute time interval just to get a little bit more specifics. It does look like we are stabilizing a little bit here on the 30-minute. But if we look at the 15-minute, let's see even closer. Yeah, it does definitely look like we're stabilizing here. That price increase was it was probably due to this big Bitcoin hard fork you know, cancellation. So people are pouring back into these alts, and we're going to check out NEO because a lot of you guys do want to check out NEO here, and we are big fans of NEO here. We're big fans of NEO, QTUM, and OMG on this channel. You know, anything that's progressive and new technology for the crypto space, you know, we obviously love here, whether that be Civic or OMG or NEO or QTUM. So let's check this out. NEO Bitcoin pairing here. So we are at the 15-minute mark, 15-minute interval rather. So we're going to zoom out to the 2 hour, and we've been following this massive descending triangle here, massive descending triangle here. And it looks like we finally have touched it and broken out a little bit. These shadows have broken out a little bit of it. So we're going to go to the hourly to zoom in even further. So, wow. That's very impressive. That's very, very impressive for NEO. I think we're going to have a solid bounce back on the alts. You know, we've finally broken out of these descending triangle formations for almost every single cryptocurrency here. Every single altcoin rather. So this is a FUD has stopped since the Bitcoin heavy sentiment has kind of is going to wane. You know, these altcoins are going to it's altcoin season, okay? It's altcoin season back in reverse here. And I think I think November, December, the end of Q4, where people are getting their bonuses, people are on vacation, people have time to learn about new cryptocurrencies, you know, talk to their family members that are already invested in cryptocurrencies. It's holiday seasons. I think Q4 is going to be massive for cryptocurrencies. It's going to be massive for cryptocurrencies. Of course, there's going to be some people you know, taking some profits. Of course, like I took some profits earlier. There's nothing wrong with that, but you know, I think there's a huge sentiment change. I think Bitcoin, you know, since the cancellation of this hard fork, I think the community has really come together. There's no longer for these no 2x hashtags or no 2x handles on these Twitter handles for Charlie Lee and Roger Ver arguing over Twitter. I think the community, you know, this is ultimately really good for Bitcoin. So yeah, NEO looking amazing here, finally breaking out of that descending triangle formation, which we were really scared that it was going to break down from. Let's look at OMG BTC. So OMG, let's look at the daily here. Yeah, wow. OMG finally having you know, finally implementing a nice little bit of support here. OMG was kind of free falling for a little bit until we've seen this massive bullish engulfing candle. And we're seeing bullish engulfing candles throughout all the altcoins, where there's massive green candles because there's people pouring into the alt markets. Is that sustainable? Absolutely not. You know, there's going to be some corrections from these 20 to 30 to 40% price gains. It's not sustainable. These bullish engulfing candles rarely are without significant roadmap objectives or significant news or mainnet releases or things of that nature. You know, I just think it's just not sustainable for the long term for all these altcoins to simultaneously come up together. So we're gonna continue going down on CryptoSoundBite.com. Oh yeah, if you guys do like the content, please subscribe, give this a thumbs up. Would greatly be appreciated. What it does is it lets the community know that this video was worth watching. We try to bring you this content every day. Like we found out this morning and we talked about it and we're like, wow, okay, we need to get online and kind of explain what's going on. You know, if it's even real, because we were speculative. We're like, okay, well, we got notifications on our phone saying that Bitcoin 2x was canceled. You know, that's not every day that you see that, you know, something that you've been preparing for the last month and a half is canceled. You know, it's like, oh wow, like the SATs are canceled. You know, so it was kind of surprising. I think it caught a lot of people, if not everybody that wasn't an insider, off guard. So yeah, definitely a good time to stay aware, read the news, read the charts, you know, watch other YouTubers, stay educated, you know, check out cryptosomniac.com. We have a newsletter. You can see our top 3 crypto picks of the month that are performing outstandingly. You know, you get it for absolutely free. You get your news here. You know, we have a troll box, pretty inclusive site, guys. But that's it for here, guys. Stay a cryptosomniac, because the rich never sleep.